I used to wear my heart on my sleeve. Every plan, every dream, I'd lay it all out, thinking honesty was the key to getting ahead. Then I watched my ideas get sidetracked, my goals undercut, not because I was wrong, but because I was obvious. I showed my cards too soon, and someone else played them better. That's when I learned a lesson that changed everything. In the game of power, what you hide matters more than what you show. Welcome back to our series on The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. This is Volume 4, and today I'm diving deep into Law 3, Conceal Your Intentions. It's a law that saved me, shaped me, and taught me to move like a shadow in a world of spotlights. From my missteps to the strategies I've mastered, let's unravel this together. Ready? Let's go. I can still pinpoint the moment I got Law 3 wrong. I was pitching a side hustle, a podcast idea, rough but promising, to a friend I thought was on my team. I spilled everything, the concept, the guests, the launch plan. His eyes lit up, and I felt unstoppable. 2 months later, he launched a podcast. Same niche. I wasn't mad, just gutted. Why did I tell him everything? That's when I cracked open the 48 Laws of Power again, and Law 3 hit me like a brick. Conceal your intentions. Greene wasn't just talking about my podcast flop, he was talking about survival. If you're new here, welcome to our journey through Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power. Volume 1 laid out why this book's a masterclass in influence. Volume 2 tackled Law 1. Never outshine the master, where I shared how I learned to navigate egos above me. Volume 3 dove into Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends, and the betrayals that taught me to guard my trust. Now, Law 3 takes us deeper. It's not about bosses or buddies, it's about you, your plans, and the power of keeping them close. I'm sharing this from my perspective, not as a guru, but as someone who's been too open, paid the price, and learned to play smarter. Over the next 45 minutes, I'll walk you through the background of this law, the problems it solves, its purpose, stories from my life and the world, and tips you can use right now. This isn't just strategy, it's armor. Why Law 3? Because it's the art of mystery in a world that demands transparency. We're taught to be open, authentic, loud about our goals. Greene says, pause. Show too much, and you're a target. Hide your moves, and you're untouchable. I've lived both sides, and I know which one wins. So, let's start at the source. Where does this law come from, and why does it feel so vital? That's my story, and this video begins. When I first read Law 3, I was still reeling from that podcast betrayal. I felt foolish, exposed, like I'd handed over my dreams on a platter. Greene's words cut deep. Keep people off balance by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. I didn't want to hear it. I prided myself on being real. But as I sank into the chapter, I saw this wasn't about me being naive. Law 3 is ancient, rooted in the chess games of power played across centuries, where one slip of the tongue could cost everything. Let me take you to Greene's starting point. Venice, the 1500s. I can almost smell the canals, feel the weight of secrets in the air. A diplomat, let's call him Giovanni, navigates the Doge's court. He's ambitious, wants trade deals that'll make him rich. But he's careless. Tells a rival his plan to corner the spice market. The rival nods, smiles, then leaks the plan to merchants who undercut Giovanni. Deals collapse. Giovanni's exiled, his name erased. That's Greene's transgression of the law. Show your hand, and someone plays it against you. I imagine myself as Giovanni, trusting the wrong ear, watching my future slip away. That story hit home. I wasn't trading spices, but I'd been Giovanni with my podcast. Too open, too trusting. Greene's point isn't that everyone's out to get you. It's that clarity invites sabotage. People can't resist using what they know. Friends, rivals, strangers. I started seeing my mistake everywhere. Meetings where I'd overshare strategies. Drinks where I'd hint at my next move. Law 3's warning was clear. An open book gets rewritten by someone else. But Greene doesn't just scare you. He shows the way out. His observance of the law took me to 19th century France, to Otto von Bismarck, the mastermind behind Germany's rise. I picture myself watching him, a tall figure in a stiff collar, moving through Napoleon III's court. Bismarck wants to unify German states, but it's a powder keg. Kings, rivals, spies everywhere. Does he announce his goal? No. He plays vague, talks peace, drops hints of trade, keeps everyone guessing. Behind the scenes, he nudges wars, alliances, all to pull Germany together. By the time his rivals see his plan, it's done. Bismarck's power? Concealment. Bismarck blew my mind. He didn't lie. He just didn't tell the whole truth. That's when Law 3 started to shift for me. It's not about deceit, it's about control. Greene pulls this from history's playbook. Machiavelli, who said a prince should reveal only what serves him. Chinese strategists who hid troop movements with decoys. Even myths fit. Odysseus, tricking the Trojans with a horse, never spilling his plan. Law 3's background is human psychology. People fear what they don't know, and you can use that fear to steer them. For me, this was personal. I thought back to every time I'd been too transparent. Job interviews where I admit my big dreams. Friendships where I'd share my fears. Law 3's roots showed me it's not new. Courtiers, generals, even poets played this game, hiding their motives to survive. Concealment isn't weakness, it's strength. That's what makes this law a cornerstone, and why I needed it to rewrite my own rules. Let's get to the heart of it. The problem Law 3 tackles. I learned this the hard way. Being an open book feels good, but it's a trap. We're wired to share. Our plans, our goals, our next big thing, thinking it builds trust or respect. But show too much, and you're handing over your power. I've been there, watched my ideas slip away because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. Law 3 exists to fix that, and it's a lesson I'll never forget. Here's my confession. That podcast wasn't my only fumble. A few years back, I was at a startup, buzzing with ideas. We were brainstorming a new product, a niche app for creatives. I was so excited I'd talk it up everywhere. Team meetings, coffee runs, even happy hours. This is what we're building, I'd say, laying out features, timelines, everything. Then a competitor launched something eerily similar. Faster, slicker. I don't know who talked, but I know I made it easy. My openness wasn't noble, it was reckless. Law 3 would have told me, zip it. That's the core problem. Transparency exposes you. We think sharing shows confidence, but it's a billboard for others to read. Friends who might compete, colleagues who might climb over you, even strangers who spot an angle. Greene says intentions are your edge. Reveal them, and you're disarmed. I saw this beyond work. I'd tell friends about my fitness goals. I'm training for a marathon. Only to hear backhanded jabs when I missed a run. Not malice, just human nature. People judge, compare, or use what you give them. It's not just personal, it's systemic. I had a mentor, Claire, who warned me about boardroom chatter. I'd pitch ideas openly, thinking it'd win allies. Instead, others tweaked my plans, took credit, or shot them down before they grew. Claire said, "You're too clear. You're making it easy to say no." She was right. Law 3's problem is that openness invites interference. Share your blueprint and someone else builds the house, or burns it down. And today, it's worse. Social media's a megaphone. Post your startup pitch, your 5-year plan, and it's out there. I've seen creators announce projects online, only for followers to copy them before launch. Even vague posts, big things coming. Tip your hand. The problem isn't ambition, it's exposure. Law 3 says, don't be a target. I learned that after losing ideas, credibility, momentum. It's why this law's a lifesaver. It stops the bleed before it starts. For me, Law 3 was a mirror. I wasn't just fighting others. I was fighting my own need to be seen. People exploit what you show, not because they're evil, but because they're wired to. Law 3 doesn't just point out the flaw, it hands you the fix. That's where its purpose comes in. And trust me, It's a game changer. So why does Law 3 exist? After my startup slip-up, I was frustrated. Did I have to hide everything, fake my way through life? But diving into Greene, I saw Law 3. S purpose is in T secrecy for secrecy. S sake. It S control. It's about holding your power, steering others without them knowing, and protecting your path until it's solid. For me, that was liberation, not a cage. It's why I keep coming back to this law. Let's break it down. Law 3 as purpose is to give you the upper hand in a world where everyone else watching. Intentions are your leverage, your next deal, your big idea, your quiet ambition. Show them, and you're predictable, manipulable. Hide them, and you're a puzzle no one can solve. Greene says this keeps others off balance, guessing, while you move freely. It's not about lying, it's about timing. Reveal when you choose, not when they expect. I got this after my product flop. At my next job, a tech firm, I had an idea for a feature, something game-changing. Old me would have blurted it in a meeting. Law 3 me, I played it differently. I asked questions first. What's the team's vision here? To gauge interest without tipping my hand. Then I pitched small pieces, vague enough to spark curiosity, not competition. My boss bit, asked for more. I rolled it out slowly, got buy-in, and led the project. No one copied me because no one knew the full plan. That's the purpose. Control the narrative, keep the power. Greene's stories nail this. Bismarck didn't just hide his German unification plan. He dangled distractions, keeping rivals busy with fake threats. His purpose, freedom to act while others chased shadows. I tried this outside work. I was planning a move. New city, new life. Old me would have posted about it, told everyone. Instead, I stayed vague, just exploring options. Friends asked, I dodged. When I moved, it was done. No gossip, no pressure. Law 3. As purpose here is protection. Your plans stay yours until they just re-real. It's bigger than that though. Law 3's purpose is psychological warfare. Softly. Greene says uncertainty unnerves people. They fill blanks with their fears. I saw this with a competitor, Jen, at work. She'd grill me. What's your team working on? I'd smile, say, oh, just tinkering. She'd push, I'd deflect. Her anxiety worked for me. She overplayed her hand, pitched too soon, lost a client. I didn't lie, I just let her guess. The purpose? Shift the game to your turf. This law's about empowerment. It lets you dream big without broadcasting, move fast without signaling. For me, it was freedom. Freedom to fail quietly, win loudly, choose my moment. Bismarck spies, even artists use this. Think Banksy, dropping art with no name, no plan, pure impact. Law 3's purpose is your shield and sword. Guard your path, shape their perception. It's why I love this law. It's power you hold, not give away. Now, let's make it real. Law 3 isn't just old courts or my mistakes. It's alive. In my world, your world, everywhere. I've seen it in jobs, side hustles, even news feeds. Let me share 3 stories, 2 from my life, 1 from the headlines, to show how Conceal Your Intentions shifts the game. These aren't just examples, they're proof this law works, and ignoring it leaves you exposed. First, my startup blunder. Let's dig in. I was at this tech company, hyped about our app idea. I'd talk it up constantly. We're building X, launching Y, targeting Z. I thought I was rallying support. Then a rival firm dropped a clone. Same features, better branding. I don't know how they got wind. Maybe a teammate talked. Maybe I was too loud at a conference. Point is, I showed my cards, and they played them. Law 3 would have saved me. If IAD stayed vague, we were exploring some cool stuff. IAD have kept the edge. Instead, I learned the cost of oversharing. Now, a win. After that, I joined a new firm, Wiser. I had a concept, a data tool to streamline workflows. Instead of blasting it, I used Law 3. ID. Float tiny bits in meetings. Could we optimize this process? without spilling the full vision. Colleagues asked. I'd shrug. Just an idea. Behind the scenes, I built a prototype, tested it quietly. When I pitched, it was ready, undeniable. No one saw it coming. No one stole it. That tool's now company-wide, and I'm leading its rollout. Law 3 worked. Conceal, control, conquer. Now, a global example. Beyoncé. Yeah, the icon. In 2013, she redefined music drops. Artists usually hype albums, trailers, singles, months of buzz. Beyoncé? Silent. No leaks, no teasers. Then, boom. December 13th, she drops her self-titled album Beyoncé on iTunes, unannounced. Videos, tracks, the works. The internet lost it. Sales soared. Critics raved. Why? She concealed her intentions. No one, fans, rivals, labels, knew her plan. That secrecy wasn't just cool, it was power. She owned the moment because she controlled the reveal. These stories, my flop, my win, Beyoncé's coup, show Law 3's stakes. Be too open, like I was, and you're copied or crushed. Stay hidden, like my prototype or Beyoncé's drop, and you dictate terms. I've seen this law everywhere since. Co-workers who announce promotions too early, only to lose them. Friends who post startup ideas, then see knockoffs. Even online, vague tweets get more traction than overshared plans. Law 3's a shield. Use it, and you're untouchable. Ignore it, and you're lunch. But Law 3's not about paranoia. It's about timing. My startup mistake taught me to pivot, not hide forever. Beyoncé didn't stay silent. She chose her moment. The real-life lesson. Concealment buys you space to build, strike, win. It's not the whole game, but it's a damn smart move. So, how do you do Law 3? I've learned, through leaks and lessons, that concealing intentions isn't about being shady. It's about being strategic. It's holding your power until the moment's right. Here are 5 practical tips, straight from my playbook, to help you keep your plans close and your edge sharp. These work in offices, friendships, anywhere you're playing the game. Let's dive in. Tip 1. Drop hints, not blueprints. Never lay out your full plan. With my data tool, I'd mention process tweaks, but skip the big picture. People got curious, not greedy. At home, I do this with my sister. I am working on something cool, instead of, here is my new business. It's not dodging, it's framing. Give just enough to engage, not enough to expose. Tip 2. Deflect with questions. When someone probes, what's your next move? Flip it. She asks, what do you think I should do? It shifts focus, buys time. I used this with Jen, that nosy rival. She'd fish for my plans. I'd say, what's your take on the market? She'd talk, I'd learn. My cards stayed hidden. Online, it's, what's your goal? In DMs. It's subtle, but it works. Tip 3. Use misdirection lightly. Greene loves this. Throw a decoy. If I'm planning a big pitch, I might mention a side project to distract. It's not lying, just redirecting. With friends, I'll talk up a hobby. I am into hiking now, while quietly building my real goal. On social media, post about dinner, not your startup. Keep their eyes elsewhere until you're ready. Tip 4. Reveal in stages. Don't hide forever. Control the drip. My prototype? I showed it when it was strong, not a sketch. At work, float a vague idea. Gauge reactions, then build. In life, I'll hint at a trip. Might travel soon? Then confirm once it S-booked. Staged reveals keep you in charge. Let others adjust to your terms, not theirs. Tip 5. Know the reversal. Greene says every law has a catch. Total secrecy can backfire. People might distrust you. And sometimes, a calculated reveal wins allies. I shared a small goal with a boss once. I want to grow here, to build trust, but kept my bigger vision locked. Balance is key. Conceal what matters. Share what serves. Pick your moments, not theirs. These tips are my lifeline. I lean on tips 1 and 2, hints and deflections, for most talks. Tip 3's fun online. Throw a curveball post, watch reactions, try them. Next meeting, float a half idea, see who bites. With a pushy friend, ask their opinion, keep yours vague. Law 3 is not about walls. It's about windows you open when you choose. Master that, and you're ahead. I'll never forget that podcast moment. The sting of seeing my idea in someone else's hands. It taught me Law 3 the hard way, but it made me stronger. Conceal your intentions isn't T about hiding who you are. It S about guarding what you rebuilding. It is the third law because it is the third test. Can you keep your plans close in a world that begs you to share? I've stumbled, learned, and leaned into this law, and I'm still growing. Now it's your turn. This series is about owning your power, and Law 3's a master key. We've traced its roots, Venice's deals, Bismarck's chess. We've nailed the problem, openness as a trap. We've seen its purpose, control through mystery. My stories, Beyoncé's drop, they show Law 3's alive, from startups to stages. The tips? They're yours to wield. Hint, deflect, misdirect, reveal smart. Law 3's your edge, grab it, and the game shifts. Next, Volume 5's coming. Law 4, always say less than necessary. It's about silence as strength, economy as power. You won't want to miss it. Subscribe now, hit that bell, and let's keep this rolling. Got a Law 3 story? A time you hid your plan, or wished you had? Drop it in the comments. I'm reading, and your takes might shape what's next. One last thought. Law 3's personal because it's universal. We all plan, dream, move. Mastering this law means mastering timing. Not just what you do, but when you show it. It's not the whole game, but it's a sharp play. So, take today's lessons, watch what you share, weigh what you hide, and choose your reveal like you choose your battles, with precision. I'll see you for Law 4. Until then, stay elusive.